Hi there, and welcome to today's Wall Yin yoga class. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to move into Wall Yin poses, which are poses which we will be stretching up against the wall. Now, the only prop you need for today's practice is a yoga blanket. And the blanket will be used to support your lower back when you lie down on the mat with the blanket underneath you as you have your legs up against the wall. It will be a really great way to support your back and your hips. In today's class, we're going to start with standing postures to stretch your upper body, and then we'll move our way down onto the floor to stretch your lower body. Please place your yoga mat vertically against the wall, which is what I've done here. My name's Jennifer Tang, and I'll be guiding you through this Wall Yin yoga practice for the next 45 minutes. Let's get started. Let's start by standing up against the wall. Now place your palms on the wall and begin to walk back. Okay, and you can explore this a little bit more. You can place your palms further down and notice how that feels for your body. Observe where you're feeling the stretch in your body as well. Do you feel it in your legs, your hips, or your upper body? Maybe you feel it in your arms and your shoulders. Okay, you can explore by bringing your palms further down or further up. Notice if the stretch changes and go with the variation that feels good for your body. You can explore by walking your feet towards the wall or further away from the wall. Okay, and this pose is called box pose. Relax your face. Use your breath to deepen the stretch, breathing in and breathing out. And just take your time to come out of the posture. Okay, as we now move into a half moon pose. Okay, so you're going to stand side by side the wall like this. Okay, and begin to place your left palm on top of the wall. And then the right palm on your left palm. Okay, so you're side bending to your left. And we are targeting your right oblique muscles, which are these muscles here. These muscles support you to reach for things. Okay, and again, just explore. Maybe you walk the feet closer to the wall or further away from the wall. And you can explore by moving the palms up or down. Okay, whichever variation with the hand and feet placement that gives you the greatest and most comfortable oblique stretch. Okay, and just take your time to come out of the posture. Maybe close your eyes, observing the sensations here. Okay, so we've just stretched your right oblique muscles. Now we're going to move up into the right shoulder. Okay, so placing your right palm up against the wall. Okay, if you've got a windowsill here like me, you can just grab hold on the side here. Okay, so you're facing the wall, extending your right palm out like this, and then you're going to turn your body over to your left. Okay, again, just explore here. Notice what happens when you bring the right palm up higher or lower below the shoulder. Observe which hand placement, arm placement, and variation gives you the most comfortable and greatest stretch. Okay, we will stay here for 2 minutes. You're welcome to close your eyes. And take your time to come out of the posture, noticing the difference between the right and left side of your upper body. Okay, we've just stretched the right side here, and now we're going to stretch the opposite side, which is your left side. Okay, so now again, you're going to turn over to face on your left, side by side, the wall. Okay, place your right palm up against the wall and the left palm over, leaning to your right. Okay, so we are targeting the left oblique muscle. You may feel the stretch somewhere else, and you can play around with this. You can bring the palms further down. Okay, you can walk the feet closer to the wall or further away from the wall. Okay, and just explore. Okay, is the stretch more effective by bringing the palms further up or further down? Okay, and we'll stay in this half moon pose. Notice what happens when you move into a slight forward fold. Notice the change in the stretch. Notice what happens when you're gazing up, the left arm behind you or above you. And then take your time to come out of the posture. Now we'll move into an open wing. So facing the wall, you're going to place your left arm out up against the wall. Okay, if you've got a windowsill in front of you like I do, you can just hold onto the side or the edge here. Good, so you're facing the wall, left arm out. Again, you can explore by placing the left arm further up or down below the shoulder. So we'll turn over to your right, stretching the inside of your left shoulder. Okay, and we will stay here for 2 minutes. Notice how you are breathing. Observe the pace of your breathing. Just take your time to come out of the posture, observing the sensations here. Okay, so now that we've stretched your upper body, we're going to move down to your lower body. Okay, so let's come back onto the mat, okay, as we begin to sit down beside the wall. As you sit up against the wall like this, move your buttocks or hips closer to the wall, up against the wall, touching the wall. And then from here, begin to lean outwards as you lie down on your right. And then bring the legs up against the wall. Okay, so this is a leg raise. You can straighten the knees as much as you can, or maybe bend the knees if you need to, and relax the arms out. And you can close your eyes if you wish. Okay, this is a very restorative pose. Now, if you find this very uncomfortable, okay, you're welcome to place a folded blanket underneath, okay, to support your back, your hips, and your buttocks. Just by placing a folded blanket underneath before you lie down. And breathing deeply. Okay, let's begin to move into your dragonfly pose. Okay, where you extend the legs out. Okay, the buttocks up against the wall, feeling a stretch in your groin, your inner thighs. Okay, you can bring the feet out wide as much as is comfortable for you. Okay, you can bend the knees or straighten the knees. Okay, just listen to your body. Relax your toes. And we'll stay here for 3 minutes. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Observing the rise and fall of your belly. And now just take your time to bring the feet together. You're welcome to move slowly at your own pace. Okay, coming back to your leg raise. You can bend your knees if you need to, or keep them straight. And now we're going to move into your frog pose. Okay, so again, we're going to bring the feet out wide. This time, the feet against the wall. And you can bend your knees here into your frog pose. Okay, so play around with this. You can heel toe the feet further out, okay, as much as is comfortable for you. You can even bend your knees a little bit more if that's comfortable. Okay, so in this posture, we are also targeting a groin stretch, your inner thighs. Though this stretch might feel a little bit different for you. Observe which muscle it is stretching. You can even bring the knees closer to your hips. Notice how that feels. Okay, we'll stay here for 3 minutes. And coming back to the present moment as you observe the rise and fall of your belly. Relax your jaw, your eyes, your face. Observing every inhale and every exhale. And take your time to come out of the posture as you bring the legs together into a leg raise. Okay, now we'll begin to move into a shoulder stand against the wall. So we'll start by bending the knees, placing the feet on the wall. Okay, and it doesn't matter which angle the knees are bent. Okay, just bend it in any way that feels comfortable for you. Feet up against the wall, palms facing down. Okay, you can even press the feet up against the wall to push yourself further away from the wall to make space for your hands. Okay, so pressing the palms down beside you. And then lift your hips all the way up. Okay, lifting the hips up. You can even bring the feet up higher against the wall. And then bring the hips all the way down. Now, if this posture feels very uncomfortable for your neck, okay, I invite you to use a yoga blanket and I'll show you how to put it together. So I've got my yoga blanket here, okay, and you can fold it into a rectangular or square shape. And so what you're going to do is you're going to place the blanket about a forearm distance apart from the wall, if that makes sense. So you're going to place from your fingers just against the wall, and the distance between your fingers and your forearm is the distance between the wall and the blanket. Okay, and so you can quickly measure it now. Okay, and so this is where my forearm ends, so that's where I'm going to place the blanket in terms of the distance between the wall and the blanket. Good, and then just come sit up against the wall again, side by side. Okay, and then lean outwards. Okay, buttocks up against the wall. And then legs up against the wall. Okay, so from here, press the palms down, maybe bend your knees, okay, and begin to lift your hips up. So the folded blanket underneath is being used as support, okay, to allow your neck or head to hang off, and this releases pressure or tension on your neck. Just allowing the neck or the head to hang over the folded blanket. Good, and just play around with this. You can even place the feet up a little higher. You're welcome to stay here, or you can begin to straighten your right leg up. So press the palms down and even bring the right leg all the way down over your head. Okay, and place the foot back up against the wall. And again, option to lift the left leg off the wall and bring it over your head. If that's uncomfortable, you can just place the feet up against the wall. And take your time to bring the hips down. And we'll do this one more time. Okay, so placing the feet up against the wall. Press the feet against the wall. Press the palms down and lift the hips all the way up. Option to stay here, or you can lift your right leg off the wall and bring the leg over your head. Okay, linking every movement with your breath. And then lifting the left foot off the wall and bring the leg over your head. Okay, we'll stay here for 5 more breaths. And take your time to bring the hips down. Okay, leg up against the wall. And now we'll begin to move into eye of the needle. Okay, so if you like, you can move the blanket down to support your hips. So I'm just going to move the blanket up against the wall. And coming back into that lying down position. Okay, placing the feet up against the wall. If you need more space, you can push your hips further out, away from the wall. And the left foot against the wall here, you'll place your right foot in front of your left thigh. Okay, feeling a stretch in the right glute. And you can play around with this. Notice what happens when you slide the left foot up higher as opposed to bringing the foot down further. Okay, which foot placement gives you the most effective glute stretch? Okay, and with your right hand, you can use that to push the right knee a bit further out. Notice if that changes the stretch. Okay, we will stay here for 3 minutes. observing the rise and fall of your belly. And take your time to come out of the stretch. And we'll begin to stretch the other side. So right foot up against the wall, left foot in front of your right thigh. And again, just play around with this, sliding the right foot higher or lower, and see which foot placement gives you the most effective glute stretch as we stretch out the left glute. You can even use the left hand to press the left knee out. And we will stay here for 3 minutes. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can even move your buttocks closer to the wall. This will give you a deeper stretch. Take your time to come out of the pose here. Option to bend the knees into a tuck. You can even place your hands on your knees or just rest your palms down. Okay, so now we'll move into a twist with a tuck. Okay, so to get the most out of this stretch, you can bring the buttocks closer to the wall, perhaps touching the wall if that's comfortable. And as you bend your knees, you're going to place the knees all the way down to the left side of your body. Okay, now if you want a deeper twist, you can move the hips further to the right. Okay, and then when you bring the left knees down, you can use the left hand to bring the knee down towards the wall. And then extend your right arm out. and turning over to your right. Twists are very great for spinal posture, alleviating cramps, bloating, stress, activating your parasympathetic nervous system, so your nervous system feels more calm and at ease. In this posture, I invite you to completely relax your body, letting go of any tension in your hips or your legs. And now begin to twist to the other side. Just take your time here, coming back to neutral. So we'll move the hips slightly over to the left. And then we begin to bring the knees down to the right side of your body. You can use the hand to push the knee further down to the floor as you extend your left arm out, facing your left. Okay, for a deeper twist, you may like to move your buttocks up against the wall or closer to the wall, maybe even touching the wall. And just bring the feet back to center. And begin to press the feet up against the wall to slide your body all the way back onto the mat. Into Shavasana. Relax your feet, your thighs, melting your lower back onto the floor. Arms out, the two scapulars behind your back closer together to bring your chest out. Relax the back of your neck. Place a gap between your lips or teeth and soften your eyes. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Observing the rise and fall of your belly. And as you bring awareness back to your body, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you're welcome to stay here and remain here in Shavasana, or you can take your time to turn to one side, keeping your eyes closed. Begin to sit upright into a comfortable pose. Let's place the palms to chest, and together we say Namaste. Okay, thank you for joining me in this wall yin yoga sequence.